I like the broken ones at the bottom because they have the most flavor. All the flavor that's kind of got down to the bottom. Like I
Mm.
like those.
Yeah, but
All right.
I feel like this does not at all disprove my argument, even one iota. For you see, the crisp chip enjoyer, I could choose that one. I could choose one from the bottom as my crisp. We watched the Scorpion King for the 46th time. Obviously, we have a third wheel. I almost said that's very very negative.
What?
With us. Maybe do you want to self-introduce yourself? Is that too much pressure?
Oh, maybe. Yeah, I wasn't prepared. Yeah, I'm Redline. I pretend to make bad videos on YouTube. So, that's really all I've got to say online.
Yeah.
Bad opinions on the internet, bad videos on YouTube.
Viewers of the amazing channel HQ Rubbish have seen you box
Oh yeah.
That's true.
of
Famous
My,
boxing
fame.
cameo.
Yes.
yes, my beat up old man hands. You like see these like cuts on them and stuff from boxing without gloves, like an idiot.
For some reason, I feel like I had decided that you were younger than me, but it
I
seems
think
to
it's because I
me.
act like a child.
But I also do that.
Right. Well, yeah. I don't know. I feel like I'm a little more chaotic, so that might be it. But how old are you?
I'm 30.
30. Ah, yes. Oscar, how old are you?
Um,
How old are you, Oscar?
Excellent question. I'm unsure. Let's see.
Okay.
I was born in '89.
Oh, same. Yeah.
So yeah, I think we are the same age. If
Yeah,
you,
yeah.
I will take that answer then as the truth. I am notoriously bad at knowing how old I am for many years, for I do not partake in
Do not
counting of the
engage.
years. I merely live in the presence of the present.
I like that. I like that.
Yeah,
I'll
that's
start
great.
doing that.
Not knowing things, obviously a stronger position than knowing them, as generally approved by this council.
Yes.
You had watched the movie before.
Yeah, as a kid. The ending was different to how I remember.
Yeah.
There was certainly
Better.
a different catharsis to be had at the end of today's watch
Yes.
for some manner of tampering with the very threads of fate had been undergone.
I would argue that someone, I don't know who did,
Crazy.
quite literally not tamper with the threads of fate, because I think the movie itself tampers with the threads of fate when Matthias does not in fact die by getting hit by the arrow.
Yes, absolutely. So
I could explain it. There is a different ending to the movie. I will be uploading that to the
yes,
Sting channel, of
I
course.
presume that you would.
In which Memnon wins. I guess is there. We've been clamoring for this cut of the movie.
The true director's edition, like director's cut of the
truly
film.
time has come for Memnon to see his final victory at last.
He's earned it. Yeah.
Now rivers of blood will finally bring obedience, and his 1,000-year-old reign will start.
Yes.
Oh, but the witch at the end did say that all kingdoms come to an end. So
yeah, but what does she
know?
know?
I see. Oh yeah, you're right. Actually, she was proven wrong.
Who is not to be trusted.
Yeah.
Or trusted.
Yes, but I do think it speaks volumes to Memnon's character that he did in fact reconcile with most of the people that were his enemies by the end of the movie.
Yeah, once he got rid of the rock out of the way.
Yeah.
With the main antagonist.
You know, an interesting part of the new ending is that Balthazar kills Takmet with his spear in the corridor and so on, and then they're surrounded by the guards. But then Matthias dies and Memnon is victorious, and then he has this really wholesome interaction with Balthazar, So it's like you can really feel that he was so grateful that Balthazar killed Takmet for him, because Takmet kept eating all his chicken, all his apples. It had to stop. It had to.
I would. I don't think we've really discussed Takmet's eating habits that much on the podcast.
No, they have been reserved to watch discussion.
But something that bothers me quite a lot about that, or would bother me if I were Memnon, I should say, because I feel like I would be generous with food. I am a king after all. But the way he picks things up and he goes out, he smells them really weirdly.
Yeah.
And he goes in, it's kind of.
I didn't notice this.
Yeah, I feel like, or wait, were you talking about Takmet or Memnon?
Takmet.
Yeah, of course.
I don't think Memnon eats.
No, that's why I was confused. But but yeah, Takmet, he gives off the kind of energy of your one weird friend who when he eats chips or crisps, depending on where you are. Or I've heard tales of people like this from my youth. Or I had friends who had siblings that did this. That they take a crisp and they lick it, or they lick it on their mouth, so they just consume the salt and the seasoning, and then they fucking put it back.
What?
All right, that's deranged.
This is I'm not making this up.
No, I thought with Doritos I used to do that. I would lick, but then I'd eat it.
Here he is. This is him.
No, he did it.
Redline is officially
I didn't put it back.
Friend. Weird friend's sibling.
I did it with mine. I didn't eat somebody else's food.
It's weird even if you do it with your own. You are a human who should consume food. You should not lick food and put it back.
Now that we've sort of arrived at this topic, I will give out a potentially, I don't know, I don't know if it's a weird opinion, but I think I tend to get pushback on this.
Okay.
I don't like eating a bag of crisps or chips, depending.
Chips.
I don't like that because to me, the first and second are S tier experiences, and then it dramatically drops.
Yes, because it's
so
more
much worse.
It's for every new crisp you take, the experience worsens, and eventually it's more kind of a chore.
Yeah.
I have to finish this. Some people
I will say this: if I am, pardon my French, turned up or fucked up, then I can chew through a bag of crisps any day of the week. No problem. But I'm speaking from a snack enjoyer perspective.
Yeah, I have heard tales of people who they open a can of a soda, Coke or Pepsi or whatever, and they just take one sip, and then that is the prime sip. The first sip is the best one, and then they just don't finish it.
My wife does that. Yeah, it drives me fucking insane. Yeah. I'll have any drinks. It's never finished, so I get the leftover drink. I don't know why.
I think all of these tales I've heard are about you, Redline.
No, I'm a drink enjoyer. I'll drink the whole drink
here about a lot of mysteries in the lore of my realms.
I swear, I like my drinks. I disagree on the crisps, on the chips, on the sack of crisps opinion.
Sack. Is that the official?
Yeah, that's what English. Yeah, that's what we call them.
It's the Sacksville baggins.
I like the broken ones at the bottom because they have the most flavor. All the flavor that's kind of got down to the bottom. I like those.
Yeah, but I feel like this does not at all disprove my argument, even one iota. For you see, the crisp chip enjoyer, I could choose that one. I could choose one from the bottom as my crisp.
Oh, I see. Oh, I get it. So it's not the top one.
No, it's not the first of the bag. It's just that I wouldn't want more than one or two.
No, yeah, okay. No, all right, I'll give you that. We'll allow that.
I feel like I
Is
have
the
to
Chris
touch.
virgin?
I want to touch on another topic that kind of came up during the watch, and it was the revelation that Redline is in fact the master of anime and
Oh yeah,
knows
yeah.
more about anime than anyone animated or
Oh, the what?
non-animated in any land. And therefore, I want to pose you the question because you brought up Guyver.
Oh yeah.
And I don't know what Guyver is,
No.
but I know that I know enough that Guyver might be something that exists in live action as
Mhm.
well.
Mhm.
And I'm wondering if because me and Leeloo have very unofficial future plans in our land to do a deep dive into the dark what's it called, Tokuhatsu.
Tokusatsu.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Tokusatsu. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. Universe at some point in the future, and is Guyver that? Is that something that Guyver
Hmm.
is?
It's kind of like Guyver.
Mm.
So Guyver is kind of like Tokusatsu, but it isn't.
Yeah, but we're
There's like a
talking.
transformation.
Yeah, we're talking about like a specific. Because okay, we should baseline this in that we know fuck all about Tokusatsu.
Yes.
No, yeah, I don't
But
know too much, but I know a little bit. Yeah.
we are specifically talking about like I don't know if it's actually called dark Tokusatsu, but it's like
Oh, okay.
it's like you know, the more like dark sort of adult.
Garo is
Yeah,
one.
yeah, yeah,
Garo
exactly.
as well.
Yeah. I know. I've watched a few episodes of that. That's pretty cool,
That kind of
actually.
stuff.
But the only reason I bounced off of Tokusatsu is it's a little too. Maybe not the dark ones, but like a lot of them are a little too childish
Mm.
in a sense. But the fight scenes are actually all right. So I'm like, how do I? Can I stomach all the bad dialogue to get
I
the good
think we're
fights?
primarily interested in the bad dialogue and
Yes.
also.
And
Oh,
it's
go
like
ahead.
it was kind of this sort of like conceptually this is what posed the question or prompted me to pose the question was because our like say our interest in this, and I don't like anime
Oh, really?
that's that is
Me
a
neither.
truth at this point I feel, but I like, you know, I like a lot of things that people think are weird and cringe,
Yeah.
like, you know, like old sword and sorcery movies,
Yeah.
or
Oh man, should watch one of those.
things that people cannot stomach watching. And I feel
Mm.
like I still can't pronounce, like Tokatsu is
Is
the,
this Okasami?
yeah, this is
Is it?
my whatever Okizumi moment, but
I think it's
but
Tokusatsu.
Tokusatsu.
Yeah, there
Yeah.
you go.
Yeah, there it is. It's canonized. But I feel like a lot of the energy and that sort of thing is exactly the kind of thing I like about a lot of things and the kind of stuff that people hate. And
I think you, given what you've just said, it does sound like it would work. I think you'd be into it.
yes,
Definitely.
Okay, let's sideline this for just a moment, and I want to ask you, Fred, how do you feel? How do you feel like the movie, our commentary notwithstanding, how does the movie The Scorpion King compare to your childhood memory of The Scorpion King? And I will add before you answer that just like Proxy, you are a person that had some sort of childhood relationship. This is a weird sentence with
Yeah.
The Rock.
Yes. Yeah. We were in court about that as well. But I wasn't. I remember just liking it because it was kind of just, I don't know how to put it. Like it's like a Pirates of the Caribbean kind of film, just a bit swashbuckling and stuff when I was a kid, so I liked it. The rewatch though, it's kind of like one of the when you watch one of those films as a kid and you love it, you go back to it and it's just like, this is actually isn't as as great as I remembered like enjoying it when I was a kid.
I think our
Um,
professional opinion generally is
you
that
are professionals about this.
yes, at this point,
Yeah.
this is our living. But I think our opinion is that the movie isn't really that bad. Like,
it's not bad.
yeah, it's just boring. It's sort of
Yeah,
you can put it on. It's inoffensive. I've gained nothing from it, but I've lost nothing by watching it.
yeah, it's come up a few times how when we like sort of analyzed between ourselves, like what is the movie really, or like is it actually is this like the worst movie in the world? It's clearly not the worst movie in the world, absolutely not. But there are so many like parts to it that are just like weird, like we talked about how the movie is arguably it's competently made, but it's not the parts don't fit together or whatever.
I want to ask you this. I'm gonna interrupt this.
Yes,
for
please
I do not care.
We're going off script.
If there ever was a script, it would only be me interrupting Oskar. But when we watched this with Proxy, I don't know if you remember this, Oskar, because me and Oskar basically never considered the sort of objective qualities of the filmmaking of the action scenes. We had just sort of had like this vague feeling about it because I don't think we really care that much about how to cut action.
No.
But seeing as you talked specifically about how the action scenes are good in like tokusatsu and stuff like that, how did you feel the action scenes were cut? Like, do you think the action is good?
Again, it's one of those. It's inoffensive. There was nothing there that I think was at all impressive, but there was nothing there that was actually like offensively bad, which in of itself is probably a bad thing. It left no flavor in my like there was no flavor to it. This is something I actually I find quite interesting as well in general. Like I know you're not too fussed about cutting action as you say there, but I like my martial arts films and what have you, and um I was never able to verbalize it really when I was younger. But Hollywood action films and pure martial art films, the way they kind of cut their fight scenes, um, uh, you kind of don't really think about it. Like you could watch all of this, like the Scorpion King, and just kind of not really be impressed by anything that's happening on screen, even though you're watching two really big dudes throwing down. You watch a martial arts film, and all of a sudden, like all the choreography really stands out as to like where they planned certain moves, how this guy did certain techniques, or even just the framing. And
it's interesting to note that the beginning of the movie, the shit in the Alps.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. That was like a full fight scene.
Yeah,
that wasn't too bad.
Yeah, that fight scene is actually shot by and choreographed by a different team, and that guy is an choreographer from the Asian movie scene, I guess. I don't know. Like, I don't know if it's...
that starts to like show up a little bit. I had actually forgotten about that fight scene right at the start there, but again, even then, it's still just it's like swashbuckling, almost slapstick in a sense.
Yeah.
He's throwing people around with like no real pushback.
It's like a really tame faker version of like a Jackie Chan movie or something.
What's that? I've not heard of that film. What?
It's a film called A Jackie Chan Movie.
Right. I've not heard of that.
It's not a real movie. This
Wow.
is called sentence structure.
Okay.
And I think you misheard what I said because I said it was like something from a Jackie Chan movie.
Oh right. Okay. Sorry.
Yeah,
you know the movie called Jackie Chan.
A Jackie Chan.
Got it.
It is of the aforementioned dark tokusatsu genre, a Jackie Chan trilogy.
Dude, I love a Jackie in Dark Okazumi.
I didn't like Jackie in
Power Ranger.
In the Gritty reboot.
There's a good video that covers this from you may have heard of the channel Every Frame a Painting.
Yeah,
it's dead now. It stopped uploading, but years ago. But he did a video specifically talking about like Hollywood action films choreography compared to say, well, specifically Jackie Chan, but other martial arts films all have the same ethos. And you'll notice in Hollywood films, usually it's like one big move. The guy swings the sword once and cuts down 3 people, or he hits a guy into a wall and then throws him, and it's either like that, so it looks like toys fighting. Do you know what I mean? Like, he just beats everybody and there's no pushback. Or if you like watch like like a Marvel film, Captain America, or whatever, I remember seeing a fight scene in one of those where it just looks like elbows and shoulders just move. You can't see anything.
Yeah.
You'll just hear a bang and then somebody gets knocked over, and the camera angles are all off from the fights. You can't ever see anything going on. But you look at a Jackie Chan film or like a competently shot and choreographed fight scene. It's just straight on, 2 people on the screen fighting, and you see everything. And it's way more engaging, but it does require the actors to be competent, like to be very fit, competent fighters. So you can't just get anybody into that stuff.
I sort of get the impression, and I don't know, it might be just sort of like buying what the behind the scenes commentary says, but I do sort of get the impression that a lot of the people in this movie, I don't know, I am almost sort of impressed by Memnon Stephen Brandt's physical performance.
That backflip onto his head was pretty impressive.
Yes.
Yeah. There was no mat there. That was really good.
But you can only work with what choreography you have and how they shoot it, of course. So.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. I mean, like they can do the kip up, the Rock doing that when coming up off his back onto his feet, and like you say, Memnon doing the backflip. Like that's them doing their like gymnastic aspects, but when they're throwing punches or kicks and things like that, a lot of the time people are afraid, understandably, of getting punched or elbowed in the face.
Yeah.
Like,
how could that happen? That couldn't
exactly.
happen on a professional Hollywood set, right?
Yeah, right. So usually that's why they'll film them at certain angles, so you can just make it look like they're getting hit, even though the face might be this far away from the elbow, like nowhere near. In fact, there you go. My hand was quite far away from my elbow there, but it looked right next to it. So that's usually the tricks they'll tend to do for this. And when you watch a lot of it, you can kind of you see it quite easily.
I watched. I'm gonna interrupt you here, as I do. I watched This is nothing at all to do with the Scorpion King, but yesterday I watched a movie called Lady Zazen and Drenched Swallow, which is
I've not seen it, but it does ring a bell.
Yeah,
is that a martial arts film as well?
I'm sorry, what did you say?
Is that a martial arts film as well?
Yeah, sort of. It's a 1969 samurai movie.
Oh, nice. Yeah, Chambara, they call them ones. Yeah.
And that movie I thought was super interesting in how it was shot. The fighting scenes, because I wouldn't call the choreography super strong, but it was pretty obvious that someone had done some like thought about the actual fight choreography. But then how it was shot was basically all in static wide shots with shit in the foreground.
Okay.
So it was
like kind of blocking what you could see.
It was trees or like buildings. It was super fucking weird.
Okay. I'll have to look that up. I've been looking for like recently.
I wouldn't recommend that movie. I'm gonna say
really?
I watched it purely for research.
Oh, okay.
So
what research for this or
no
research for secret future projects?
No, I'm doing something on my YouTube channel that's about Guilty Gear and Baiken.
Oh, okay. I use a Buddhist mantra in a lot of like my in some kind of branding stuff, or like I even on my Steam profile, Rock on Shoujo, which is like something that they chant is like I'll not get too much. It's something like cleanse the 6 senses. It's just like get ready for a fight. Get ready for in Baiken's theme in the latest Guilty Gear, they use that. They use Buddhist mantras and they shout "Rock on Shoujo" as it kicks off, and I was like, I know that line. I recognize that.
Yeah, I in sort of the exact same. I guess it's in the reverse order here, but in that movie, Lady Sazen, there's a drunk master character.
Okay.
And I had never actually considered the phrase. What is it? Is Senkaku Banrai?
I've not heard of that.
Which is like come all guests, or like come on,
Okay.
yeah, everyone's welcome, or something like that.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure that's one of Yoshimitsu's intro things.
Oh, really? Oh.
And I think it's a Buddhist thing as well.
Ah, right. Oh, interesting. I know.
This is again woefully off topic.
No, I like any kind of like I could do this for ages. Just ramble about.
Yeah, you just look at Oskar getting angrier and angrier.
I am not angry. I am being quiet because I don't want to interrupt, or rather, don't want to get interrupted from delivering some razor sharp anecdote of my own experiences. To see them squashed on the floor under the boot of a piss yellow sweatered tyrant, but never shall it be said that I am bitter at any point involving anything involving said tyrants.
Gotta keep the show moving. Yeah, I know Yoshimitsu shouts like various words throughout that other characters like they don't tend to actually say many. Well, you might get like the odd come on or something, but I know like one he yells like "Tsuyoi." It's just like strong. That I remember from like Yoshi's sound files and what have you. But I can't remember many of his intro lines.
I think I believe this is yeah, whatever. I believe one of them is like I think it goes what is it? Ikkitosen, I believe, is also one.
That's
there's like the strength of 1,000 or something like that.
Oh yeah. Yeah. God, I need to get back onto learning Japanese. I'm like my level's only about like a toddler's level at this point, so
yeah, but mine is not great either.
Yeah.
So
I know the odd words. I can get around Tokyo looking at signs, and yes, it takes about 5 minutes to translate.
Yeah, I learned how to. I finally learned how to read, like on a yeah, both
katakana
by playing Yakuza, because I just
really
I used that as motivation to just stop and read all the signs all the time.
Yeah. I don't know why, because I've got hiragana completely drilled in, but katakana I like learn it and then I'll forget it again, and then I'll learn it and forget it again. I don't know why, because it's not actually hard to learn at all. I just keep forgetting it.
I can see the weirdness. It's kind of weird to have to learn basically 2 alphabets for this what ostensibly feels like the same thing.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
I only know 1 alphabet.
That's not true.
Oh, which?
Technically you would. I guess you would. I don't know if you would count. We have more than the Brits.
Yeah, you probably have.
Ah, that's true. I was gonna say that depends what you consider an alphabet. I only consider other alphabets if they are funny pictures and not letters, and so on.
Hieroglyph.
Exactly.
Well, so you'll have like accented characters, won't you? I suppose.
Yes.
Yeah.
We have some fancy vowels in our realm.
Yes. Or the venerable, or the voracious.
The voracious.
Oh, we've got that.
Finally, the most esteemed.
Yes, is actually very. Or no, is it? Which one is it? Is it? I think it's or is the rarest one.
Rarest one.
I think so. One of them is pretty much Swede specific, more or less. At least as far as the character goes. But it might be I always forget.
Is something that. I was gonna say
no. Is definitely in German, right?
Yeah, but I was gonna say that English speakers, in my experience, have the most trouble with
but it's just from it's a bird.
Yeah, you say bird, and then you're like, oh, it's like the bird, and then you go like, yes, but can you say or like that sort of thing?
Yeah. No, I don't. Yeah. Is that right? Is that right? Am I doing it?
Said that you end up. They always end up sounding like there's some Dynasty Warriors sound clip when you swing your weapon and stuff like yeah.
Oh, don't bring on to. I love Dynasty. Well, I used to love Dynasty Warriors at
Well,
least.
I love Dynasty Warriors, says the master of anime. When we're trying to teach him Germanic languages.
Fucking Zhang He was my favorite character through that series. He was so cool.
Dude, I don't know what the fuck are you talking about,
Dynasty
dude?
Warriors is so cool.
Yeah,
Have you
sit
guys
down,
heard about
sit
Leeloo? Don't chase Leeloo, you guys.
Let's go.
Got him. Internet for the win.
Dude, you're such a bully. What happened to you, Oskar?
That is because I have learned from the best how to bully people, and I have to take every chance I get to punch down. For I rarely get the chance in my daily goings about doing these stupid things that I do not know how I got involved in. So I take.
I know how you got involved. You said yes.
That was without my involvement. How long are we gonna do this podcast?
I don't know. We might be reaching the end here. Do we have anything specific planned for next week? We might be doing the forever elusive IKEA watch.
IKEA watch?
Yes, we'll be watching the movie and recording the podcast at IKEA.
Yes, and we're gonna have to move around so we don't get kicked out or accosted by Swedes. But we haven't or other Swedes. How about them Swedes? But it has been continuously postponed for different reasons, such as weather, interest.
It doesn't rain inside IKEA.
Only those two.
No, but it rains getting there.
Yes. Right. We have to leave our respective homes and
there isn't an IKEA, as much as you might believe. There isn't an IKEA adjacent to every building in Sweden.
No.
Every corner.
Unfortunately, that is not the case.
Well, I think fortunately.
Fortunately, that is not the case, but unfortunately, in the very specific matter of having an IKEA watch.
Yes.
That would be sick as fuck. I'm not gonna lie.
I think we've only done one outside watch, right? We watched it in the forest.
Oh, I don't remember that episode.
No, it is easily identifiable by thumbnail in the channel. We are standing in a forest on a rock.
We're definitely not doing that in the thumbnail because the thumbnail is the Blair Witch Project, and then it says the Scorpion King Project.
I stand by my statement. Okay. Yeah, everybody knows the Blair Witch Project takes place in a forest, just like the Sting of Time Project in that particular episode.
Yes.
I've got an extensive watch later list, and I've got a few episodes still on there that I've not caught up to. And I do have that on there. That'll be why.
Yeah, we got passed by a running man who was convinced that we were ornithologists. Or bird watchers.
Because Leeloo was carrying, the camera, like some two-handed Dark Souls protagonist, idle weapon pose, and so on.
He didn't stop and ask us. He went by and he said like, "Yo guys, any cool birds?" And I think Oskar was basically about to die. I think he was not prepared for we are Swedish, so none of us are prepared for strangers. And B, he was definitely not prepared to be asked about fucking birds.
Just caught you out.
Yeah.
I don't remember. I said something like one of those. I said something that would make a good story, but I forgot what it was.
I don't think you said anything. I think you said like, and then I said we are not bird watchers. And then
you said. What I did was that I did some sort of half measure between a typical Swedish you respond with or whatever, like that sort of thing, like you just make a bodily noise to respond to strangers. But my body was not prepared, so it was a half frightened, half acknowledging, so it became this energy of I need an adult. Leeloo, please talk to the strange Swedish man running by me. And then you said we are not bird watchers.
And he went, "Oh, really?" And then he kept going. And it should be noted as well, we were both of us on our phones blasting the Scorpion King on high volume as he ran past. So I don't know what the fuck he thought. was going on, but obviously.
But I feel like that's the kind of thing like. Well, for most people, this kind of thing doesn't exist in their sphere or whatever. But I mean, I feel like he was someone like he had in his life. There is running, and then there is bird watching. Those are the things you can do outside.
Yes.
Yeah.
So when he encounters someone in his, in his area, then he just assumes that they are walking, therefore they are not runners. They must be bird watching. I shall verily ask them about their findings.
I've
And so on.
not heard about the birds that can be called with recordings of the Scorpion King. If you play it,
they will come.
Appear. Yeah, they'll come. They're not based in Sweden though, unfortunately.
We saw a dog during the Forest Watch also.
Yeah, and on some old bags.
Yeah, some old bags and a dog. The dog was more intimidating than the old bags. Not because it was scary, but we were kind of scared for the dog because it was just like this collared dog. I don't know what
it was literally black and white. It didn't exist in our reality. It was sort of a dog from a 1920s silent movie.
This mirage dog came running at us. It came running at us, and then we said, "I wonder whose dog it is." And then I said in Swedish that dogs should be on a leash out here in the woods. And then the dog ran away, and so on.
So it wasn't with the old ladies. It was
I think the old ladies would have been killed by that dog.
Yes,
they were quite old.
Right. Ancient bags. Okay.
Yes, ancient bags. Do you have anything you want to plug? I never give anyone ever this opportunity.
I'm terrible at this as well. I get really nervous.
Okay, then we won't plug you. You are unplugged.
Go to my YouTube. I need some viewers, please.
We will link your shit in the description.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
For all the 3 people watching The Sting of Time.
About 3 people watching my videos.
Yes, so maybe have a shared audience.
I'll have a video out of hopefully by the end of the month. I've got a week off work now, so I can actually sit and finish this video fucking finally. But yeah, God Hand review, I suppose. But a few people have done that game. And,
intriguing.
Yeah.
Well, if it's been done once, you might as well do it again, as they say.
As we definitely say in these lands.
This is it. I'm just gonna copy what everybody else has done, and then get some viewers, and then just I don't know, make whatever the hell I like.
Just make a series of God Hand reviews.
What I should do is I should play God Hand once a week for 52 weeks.
Yes. I think that would be a more pleasurable experience.
You should review God Hand 52 times.
Yes, do that.
Once each week. Then you might stand on our plateau.
That's true. I've never done anything 52 times, to be fair. So to be able to review.
Neither have I yet.
Oh yeah, true.
Yeah. Soon I will have.
Do you have any parting words, Red?
The new director's cut ending was a welcome change from the established meta. Yeah, I appreciate the hard work you put into the new version of the film.
I promise you that you do not appreciate it as much as I appreciated it.
Yeah,
I appreciated it a million times more.
Yes, it was the second I realized that I would be streaming the movie, and I could therefore make a change to it without having to give Oskar a file of which he certainly would have been.
Suspicious.
Yeah, why?
It doesn't work because I'll know something is wrong with it.
I left.
You should have done slight changes, like that scene with the with the light reflector off in the side there. Do you know where all the people run through the tunnel? Yeah. There's the piece of.
Maybe I'll just put a light reflector in every scene.
Yeah.
The boom mic. Yeah. Just hide bits and fix other problems, so it's a completely different version.
Just superimpose the light reflector over the way in the entire movie.
The light reflector cut. No, with that, I think I'm gonna cut off this recording, and I'll say thanks for watching the movie with us, Red. And,
no, thanks for inviting me. I appreciate it. I'm glad I only had to do it once, not 52 times. For the next series, I'll join in.
Catch the 2 viewers next week.